CookieSwirlC. Hello, Cookie fans! Today we're going to be creating something so super duper cute. I was opening fan mail and check it out! Look at what a Cookie fan mailed in. It says this is a Shopkins I would make if I was Moose Toys. And it is a cute, adorable drawing that a very, very special Cookie fan drew for me. And I think it would be so fun to actually turn this into a real Shopkins. So let's go ahead and make this Shopkins cake. So to get started with it, I'm going to be using some air dry clay. So let's just go ahead and take a little tiny pinch. Whoop, there we go. So I have my clay. Now I'm going to roll it into a ball. And now I'm going to kind of flatten it out and create a little cake shape by keeping it flat on the top and round on the sides. Roll, 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 roll. There we go. That's kind of looking like a good Shopkins size. I can place it next to Windy Wedding Cake and Birthday Betty to kind of get a little size reference. So I think that looks pretty good. Now this cake looks like it has lots of frosting on it. So we've got 3 layers of frosting. I'm going to take a toothpick. I'm just going to go around and just kind of make an indent of where the frosting would be on this cake. So we'll do a little bit here on the top and use my fingers to kind of press it down. And I'm just going to shape it as close as I can to the drawing. So I'm just kind of pushing underneath the frosting layer. There we go. And do this bottom side, same thing. Just use this toothpick to help draw out where the frosting is. And same thing, use my finger to kind of push down. Now for this middle layer of the cake, I'm just kind of gonna roll out with the frosting exactly where it is. There we go. Just kind of push with my toothpick. It's pretty cool. It looks like it has a really nice frosting layer right in the middle of the cake. So if this was a real cake, it would be extra tasty and yummy because that extra layer of frosting. And you can do this with any Shopkins that you would love to make yourself too. You can just create anything with clay. So there we go. Now I'm kind of gonna roll it all out like this with my finger to make sure it's all kind of that same roundness. And that is looking pretty good as a start for my cake. See, it's looking pretty good. Now we've got 4 candles on the top of the cake. So I'm just going to take a pinch of clay, just roll it out. There we go. So it's a long rolled out piece of clay. And I'm going to take my toothpick. Now just cut off the areas of where I want my candles to be. So maybe one like that. And just kind of line them up. They're roughly about the same size. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just cut them together. Whoop, there we go. Now each one I'm just going to round out for my little birthday candles. And then on one of the tips of them, to create the flame, I'm just going to kind of pinch it a little bit tighter right in between my fingers to create a teeny tiny little flame on top. There we go. So now I have my 4 candles and my cake base. Now before my cake dries, I'm going to actually put in my candles. Take my toothpick, poke some holes right on the top. Whoop, doo, 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 doo. Right where I want my candles to go. There we go. Now I'm gonna let it dry. All right, now everything had a chance to dry overnight, so now it's time to paint this cake. So I'm gonna be using some of this white color. Give it a good shake. Now, even though the clay is already white, I like to actually paint it so it's a white painted color. So I'm gonna use some of this acrylic paint, paint this cake all the way around, and even the bottom of the Shopkins. Kind of looks like a burger. And same thing with my candles. I'm just going to paint them so they have a white paint color. Now I want to be careful with these. These are a little bit fragile just because they are so slim. What about me? Can I get a new paint color too? Okay, so we're going to be painting Sprinkle Lee cake as well since she wants a makeover. So we'll make her a vanilla cake as well. So we'll just paint right on over her. Can easily just paint her. I love painting Shopkins. It is so fun to paint your doubles. So anytime you get a double Shopkins, now you can customize it to look any way you want. Now when I get to her face, I want to be a little bit careful going around her eyes because I don't want to have to repaint over her face. Careful, careful. Get as close to her face as I can. Then I'll switch over to a smaller, more detailed paintbrush and I will carefully paint around her eyes and her little eyelashes, just taking my time. So it's good to have a whole bunch of different size brushes so you can do different types of details. Now around her other eye, her eye that's closed. Looking pretty good. Now the candles have this stripy purple, so I'm gonna use my purple color and my little detail brush, dip a little bit on the tip, and on each one of my little candles, I'm just going to swirl it up all the way around the candle. There we go. Here are my 4 little purpley candles. Now we'll add the flame on. So we'll use this sun-bright yellow acrylic paint. Shake, 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 shake. And each one of these, just going to easily just paint that flame on. Now we're gonna start painting the cake. So the first layer looks like this pretty blue color. Parrot blue. Shake, 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 shake. So this is gonna be the top part of my cake. So right here where I'm gonna put my candles. So paint the whole top part of the cake with this icing. Now as I go around to the sides, I just wanna use the side of my brush to let it just glide to create a nice sharp edge. There we go, all the way around, just like that. Woo, there's the top piece. It kind of looks like a little button. He's gonna be as cute as a button. I'm a cute cake. While that's drying, let's go ahead and paint a second coat of vanilla frosting on Sprinkle-y cake. So same thing, just go all the way around. Careful around the face. Now for the bottom layer of the cake, I'm gonna paint a teal color. And same thing, I'm kind of just gonna let that brush edge do the gliding all the way around. Now for the middle layer of frosting, it looks like a mix between purple and dark blue. So I have my 2 acrylic paints. So right in the middle, I'm gonna do a layer of dark blue. Right on top of that, I'm just gonna mix in my purple. Now I'm gonna go back to my Sprinkle-y cake, and using a toothpick, I'm just going to color in each one of her little sprinkles with the same colors that we painted with the little custom cake. So just give her her little sprinkles back. Now we're just kind of coloring them in. She has so many sprinkles. It's like a million sprinkles on her, which of course makes sense. I mean, she is Sprinkle-y cake. Then I'm gonna go in now with my purple, and that is the color that I'm gonna be painting the bow that is wrapped around her. Now I'm gonna go in with a little bit of some black paint on a toothpick. Looks like we lost an eyelash here, so I just kind of want to touch up this Shopkins face just a little bit. So add that eyelash back in, maybe sharpen these ones back up. Here we go. Same thing on this side. Very good. Now on my little custom cake Shopkins, let's go ahead and color in its face. So right back on my toothpick, go ahead and add a little black dot for the eye. And this side. Here we go, let those dry. So now I'll add some white parts of the eyes, kind of like Birthday Betty, right on the bottom. Just a little bit on my toothpick, and carefully add it in. There we go. Now, this is my favorite part. This is where you can really shape the Shopkins eyes. So by using my black, I'm just gonna go in and just shape out the eye exactly how I want it to look. There's 1 and 2. And while we've got the black open, let's just go ahead and add in the eyelashes for Shopkins. So the 3 little eyelashes. There we go. While I'm waiting for that to dry, let's now touch up their mouths. So using some pink paint, I'm just going to redo their mouths. There we go on Sprinkle-y cake. And now my little Shopkins face here. Meh, sticking out the tongue. Meh. And now adding the teeny tiny white little dot in the eye makes the Shopkins really come alive. Doop, doop. There we go! Now I'm gonna go in with some of my glue, and I am going to glue my little candles onto the cake. Just take them and just put them back onto the cake. Do, 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 do. I have to be careful how hard I push them in, because these are fragile little candles. All right, everything is looking so good, so this had a chance to dry to get these candles to stick into the cake. Now the last thing to do is seal everything in with this DuraClear matte varnish. I'm gonna put a little bit on my brush, and I'm going to paint it all over my Shopkins. I love this DuraClear varnish because it protects the paint, it makes it super duper durable, and it makes the colors really, really pop. Now I wanna be careful on my cake because these candles are fragile, but I have to make sure I coat them in the varnish as well. All right, let's check it out because the cake is all done. Open this up. Look at how cute! This is adorable. This totally turned out. I am so happy with this cake. So here's the amazing drawing from my cookie fan. And check it out. Okay, so here you go. So if this was a real Shopkins, maybe it would look something like this. This is just so cool. So if you guys have any Shopkins that you would absolutely love to see, draw them out on a piece of paper and just make them out of clay. You can create anything. So you can create the Shopkins of your dream. So this is so sweet. So here we go, my little Shopkins that was inspired by a cookie fan drawing. Now let's check out the Sprinkle Lee cake. Woo! Now I have 3 of them to display here on this cake stand. So here's the original in green and in pink and blue, and now my custom where I use the same colors as this little custom cake as well. Pretty sweet, right? I am in love with this Shopkins too. Yay, more cake. All right, cookie fans, I hope you enjoyed this DIY video. Remember to stay creative, create something new every day, and happiness will come into your life. And I will see you guys in my next video. Stay sweet, cookie fans. Woo! All right, cookie fans, who remembers how many candles did this cake have again? Do you remember? Bye, cookie fans.